Hello there.
Hey, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Evan.
All topics presented in this podcast are highly likely to contain spoilers.
We tell you this as a courtesy to you, the listener, so that we may not ruin any movies or shows for you.
Thank you for listening.
This has been your spoiler warning.
Well, welcome to Star Wars In Depth. Today we're going to talk about the Clone Wars series, episodes 3 and 4. First couple announcements, though, we have a blooper reel episode coming pretty soon. Evan, why do you think that is, or what, what about that? I guess you had some notes to say.
Yeah, so the blooper reel that we owe you guys is because we hit the 1,000 downloads.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had talked about that and decided every 1,000 downloads, we will release a blooper reel where you guys will get to hear kind of our, before we start recording, some of the stuff that Jacob had to cut out, maybe even some of our stuff after we finished recording an episode. You guys will get to hear that, and that's definitely going to be for a more mature audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that'll be at 1,000 downloads, and every 100 reviews we get,
mm-hmm.
We will be doing a live stream.
Yeah.
So you guys will be able to, chime in, ask questions, send questions to us while we are covering certain episodes of whether it's on Star Wars or any future topics we cover. You guys will be able to type in, ask questions, give comments. We can respond to you guys. It will be completely unedited, obviously, because we'll be live. So you'll get to hear us talking with all of the stuff that Jacob cuts out. You'll get to hear Bud live, all of his comments and
other shenanigans
and others.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
and
common.
That is all. Yeah. That'll be coming, but that is all on you guys. So if you guys want those live streams and whatnot, you got to give us some reviews, maybe even give us some recommendations in those reviews, but that's all listener driven.
Yes. And, just to further emphasize and kind of push for this, kind of community that is our listeners, I want to interact with you guys. We all do. So through that would be a good way of doing it. Also, we have a Discord server. I'm not going to go into explanation about that or anything, but it'll be in the description. Anyway, Evan, let's start with, I guess, Star Wars Clone Wars Episode 3. You want to give a brief summary and maybe the title of that, and then we'll get into my notes?
Yep. So we have, as Jacob said, Star Wars Clone Wars Episode 3, titled Shadow of Malevolence.
Mm-hmm.
So just a basic overview. Basically what's happening is you have Anakin Skywalker, his Padawan Ahsoka Tano, and Jedi Master Plo Koon all trying to take a shortcut to cut off General Grievous and the ship Malevolence to try and save a clone medical facility.
Mm-hmm.
And really just kind of follows them and kind of a little interaction they have, a little bit of struggle they have as they're trying to get through the shortcut. It follows General Grievous a little bit. It's not much of an action-y episode until you get a little towards the end where we do get a little bit of a space battle.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, we should have started this episode with it's like do like a Star Wars In Depth episode. Wait, what are we? Are we on 8? Is this number 8 now?
Indeed, we are.
All right. Well, either way, like episode 8, take 2, and then just action.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had some issues. We recorded and lost the footage, so we were going back through and trying twice as hard. So yeah, with we got the little summary, and they've got some ambition going after Grievous, obviously, because he's like the leading general. And we kind of see like this pep talk going on by, it's not necessarily a pep talk, but from Anakin to his clones, to his group. And Plo makes the comment, Master Skywalker does seem to inspire great confidence in his men. And, we do see that Anakin's a good leader. I still have that inner turmoil in me because I know, and this was throughout the movies too, because you knew where he was headed, but just knowing it, but yeah, there's that. It's kind of
any different throughout the whole show. Because as
Oh,
I've said before, in the Clone Wars TV show, he's a badass and he's just doing his thing, and then you hit you said where he's heading,
yeah.
and it's just like, oh, well, crap.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of this show. Anyway, but yeah, so they were going to try to counter the attack on the medical bay. Something I made a note of, dude. Kaminoans are ugly. They're super ugly, and I do not like them. I made the comment a little while ago. I feel like that's like extreme case African neck rings. Like, do you think? Yeah, I don't know. It's just that I just don't understand it. Okay, so I feel like George Lucas with them. He's just like, man, what kind of character can I make? I got to come up with wacky aliens, and then. Like, let's say his kid comes in. I don't even know if he has children, but comes in with like a, silly putty.
Yeah.
He like takes that and he's made a little like model out of it. And then the kid like sets it on the table. He's like, Dad, look at this. And he sets it down and it tips over onto the edge of the table. And then the head just droops down. Like it just starts to like droop. And then he picks it up and he's like, I got it.
Well, have you ever noticed though that the Kaminoans, they're instead of like feet, they have almost like hooves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're weird. I don't know, man. I don't know, but either way, yeah, they're gonna counter the attack on the medical bay that General Grievous and his droids are trying to attack. Because it's rehabilitating a lot of clones, so therefore, you can wipe out a good amount of the army. So Anakin and Ahsoka didn't go along with, did she?
She did, yeah.
Did she?
She was there.
Wait, where?
Yep. So Anakin was in one of the bombers, and Ahsoka was in the gun seat of the bomber.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
And I do remember because at one point she even makes the comment of something along the lines of not getting to have her own ship to fly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they're going. So it's Anakin, Ahsoka, Plo Koon, and then a lot of clones are all going to counter that attack. They figured out, like they got intel on it, and they're going to do it.
Yeah, and just I said this in the last episode as well. Some of the clones in this episode do like they actually give them some names like Matchstick, and Broadside again, just kind of showing you there's more to the clones than just them being clones of like one specific person. They do have some of their own personalities, and we get to see that a little bit in the dialogue as they're on their way trying to take this shortcut.
Yeah, through the nebula. Oh, actually, which I still have that note card. The Balmora Run. Balmora Run.
Yep.
Yeah. I had a note card with the name on it, so I didn't forget it, and I forgot to get it out, but I remembered, so we're good.
Yeah. So Anakin and his squadron are taking off, and they're going through the Balmora Run, as you just said.
Mm-hmm.
And a little ways into this episode, we actually learned that Anakin heard of this shortcut from smugglers when he was a kid back on Tatooine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he doesn't really have a lot of knowledge on it. He just knows it's there. And as we see in the episode, once he calls it the Balmora Run, Plo Koon, who has more knowledge on it, who's more experienced and whatnot, makes the comment of it's got the mantises in there. It's actually got life in that nebula.
Yeah, the Nibre mantis. That was the name, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and Plo Koon's actually trying, like, once it, like, I guess clicks in his head, he's like, we got to turn around. This is not a safe way of trying to get ahead of General Grievous. We're going to lose a lot of the squadron trying to get through here because of these mantis.
Mm-hmm.
And literally as he's saying that, Ahsoka gets some movement on her scanner, which we then actually get to see what these mantis look like, and it starts with 1, then 2, then 3.
Yeah,
and then we see the whole, I guess, colony of them. There's like 100 plus of them.
Yeah, wasn't it like a nesting ground or something that they come in through? It was like they're kind of
called a nesting ground or a breeding ground.
Yeah, something where they just they're all
Giant
hanging
mantis,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, and I made a note that I thought it was interesting because I watched this with subtitles because you had said you did, and then I started thinking, I'm like, okay, that's a good way to not like to make sure I don't miss any details. And in the subtitles, it's kind of funny because it says R2E, like that's R2D2's nickname, kind of for people.
Yeah.
And at one point in the show, it's spelled R2, like a letter number, and then IE. And it kind of caught my attention because I remember I think Phantom Menace, maybe more than likely Attack of the Clones, but they had said that, and the subtitle said like it spelled it out like ARTOOIE. I just kind of thought it was odd that it was like both. I don't know. It unimportant detail, but I picked it up. I'm like, that's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, and that happens throughout the TV show. Honestly,
Yeah.
I always watch with subtitles. They just kind of go back and forth between the two.
Yeah, I guess I just kind of like to complain or something. I don't know why I wrote that down, but anyway, so they go through the nebula. And,
so they're heading for the nebula. You know, it's cutting over to General Grievous, and you know he gets a message from Count Dooku, warning him that Anakin's is taking a shortcut to try and get ahead of them.
Right.
And as we've said before, it just kind of shows that there's someone that the Jedi don't know about that's kind of like behind the scenes, a spy in the Republic.
Yeah, and
who we know is the Chancellor.
Right, and I remember commenting on it, like being like, man, you would think that they had some suspicion. Like I don't expect them to know who, but like I feel like every orders and plan that they have, and they communicate this with the Chancellor, like, they go back and forth, like kind of talking to him about their plans. And then all of a sudden the Separatists are like ahead of them, and it's just like, I don't know, they got to know that like somebody's like leaking their plans. But obviously they don't know for sure, but
because the Chancellor is playing both sides, so at some point the Chancellor's probably not telling, or I would think he's not telling the Separatists all their plans, because otherwise it would be obvious that it's him,
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Or he's just like, I'm going to relay...
Half the mission succeed, and half of them, the droids are ahead of them.
Yeah. Or he's just like, I'm going to relay all of their plans, because I know that there's like a 60% chance that General Grievous is just going to fail anyway. So I got to give him at least somewhat of a chance. That's my theory. Anyway, though, I made the comment, dude, it feels like Sith and General Grievous have really no regard for droid troops. Like, Dooku even pointed out, like, that they're expensive, but Grievous still, like, throws them and, like, like, breaks them, just smashes their heads and stuff, and it's just like, all right. But, yeah. Oh, man. All right. And then... Sorry, I had to yawn a little bit. Yeah, and then they attack the cannon, right? There's a big EMP ion cannon on the Malevolence. That's kind of been the...
A little bit there, buddy.
Dude, I don't know. That's where my notes left off, but what happens in between?
I guess you're just kind of missing some of the smaller stuff.
Oh, I probably am. I'm just going off of what I wrote. I did not write much.
Yeah. So while they're going through the nebula, at one point, Ahsoka makes a comment that their navigation system is not working. And, that's due to the nebula kind of interfering with some of the readings and scanning and whatnot on their ships, their bombers.
Mm-hmm.
Anakin just goes, something along the lines of, you got to trust in the Force, and, this is old-fashioned flying. You got to feel your way through.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, Plo Koon kind of chimes in, saying, Anakin's right. You got to clear your mind, use the Force, clear your mind, and you'll see the path.
Yeah.
Which I think is just a good reminder that the Force isn't just, pushing stuff around and pulling stuff towards you and making stuff float.
Yeah, and I remember we did have this conversation. I forgot about that portion, and yeah, because it's like like I said, I remember, dude, you and me, and like, I feel like it had to have been second grade or something, like out on the playground, and we're just like, we're playing like Star Wars, because like literally this has been pretty much the entirety of our childhood. I know you had more of you had Pokemon and Lord of the Rings and Halo in it. What'd you say? What'd you say, Gage? Or Bud? I don't know.
Pokemon.
Oh, there you go.
Pokemon.
Pokemons. Yeah. But anyway, I remember us playing out there, and you just like you act like you're picking stuff up, and you like push, like force, like, act like you're doing that. But it is just this concept of the force is so much more than just pushing things. It's like this connection between all like objects and all matter, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, it's kind of interesting. Too, the more like as the movies and the video game and everything goes on, you kind of learn a little bit more about what this kind of mystical concept is actually, and it's kind of interesting just the thought that went behind it and everything.
Well, Anakin and his squadron come out of the nebula, and I can't remember who says. I think Anakin might have said it. He basically says, we're not that far behind Grievous now. Basically saying, the shortcut paid off.
Yeah, yeah.
So when they come out of the nebula, they see the Malevolence fairly close to the medical station, and they go right into it. They start. Anakin has his squad form up into their attack formation, and they start going for the Malevolence, aiming for the bridge to take out General Grievous. Because he is behind Count Dooku. He is the leader of the entire Separatist army.
Right. Yeah.
So taking him out is just a huge step closer to ending the war. And they're flying along, and if I remember correctly, General Grievous has the Malevolence fire that EMP. Basically, what it is?
Yeah.
And it actually gets some of the bombers, and it just shuts all their systems down. So those bombers are just basically useless at that point until they can reboot. And Anakin is taking the rest of his bombers, and they're aiming for the bridge, and some of the bombers start getting shot down. And Ahsoka at one point makes a comment of, we're not going to make it to the bridge. We can't make it. There's too much fire coming from the ship. We're losing too many bombers.
Uh-huh.
And Anakin, in his, I guess, arrogance and I guess his cockiness, is like, oh, we'll make it. It's not a problem. We'll make it. And Ahsoka, again, I guess, kind of being the voice of reason here, is like, you'll make it, but everybody else is not going to make it. You're the only one that's going to make it at this point.
Yeah.
And, Anakin finally realizes, hey, we need to go for a different target here.
Yeah. And then they do kind of aim for the actual mass weapon, the ion cannon, the EMP.
Yeah. So Anakin turns his squad around. They, as you said, they go for the ion cannon. And after enough bombs, I guess proton torpedoes, technically.
Oh, it's
if you want to get specific. Enough of them hit the inner side of the cannon, causing a lot of damage to it. So when General Grievous goes to fire it again at the medical station, it basically overloads.
Yeah.
Effectively taking that giant cannon out until it can get extensively repaired.
Yeah.
And at this point, the episode's almost over. General Grievous is trying to flee with the Malevolence. And at this point, Obi-Wan shows up with a Republic fleet and basically starts firing on the Malevolence from a fairly great distance, still causing damage, but not as much as they would like. And Anakin and the rest of his squadron head back to the fleet. I guess really to just rest and get rearmed and formulate another plan of attack to take out this giant ship.
Yeah.
At that point, the episode cuts, and that's the end of episode 3.
Yeah. And before we go into episode 4 with that, last time we did this, and I know it didn't pay off or do anything because it was just, we lost the footage, but I wanted to add in some Laffy Taffy jokes to try to see what you would think of, or how how you would react.
Oh yes.
So I have some Star Wars jokes.
Oh.
Yes. So, let me. Oh, that one's stupid. I have to lead with that one. I just stumbled across it. So here we go. We'll do 3 of them. So Evan, why is Yoda such a good gardener?
Why?
Because he has a green thumb.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh man. And why can't you count on him to pick up the tab?
Because he's short?
Yeah, because he's always a little short.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's hear the last one. Come on.
All right, last one. What is a Jedi's favorite Italian dessert?
I don't know.
An Obi-Wan
What?
cannoli.
Oh God! Stop! It hurts.
That was funny.
Oh my God.
All right, I had to just because stupid jokes are funny to me.
Obi-Wan cannoli. Arguably the worst Jedi.
Hey, now you shut your mouth.
All right. Well, anyway, we can move on to episode 4. I just thought that'd be funny. Anyway,
So, and as I think I tried saying in the last recording that we tried doing, just before we start this one, anybody that's watching, the TV show along with the podcast, I really recommend that you watch 2, 3, and 4 back to back. Like, don't take a break in because it's all right along the same short amount of time.
yeah, because it they're right back to back. Like they all like where the one ends, the next one picks up because it is like this ongoing story. And all obviously it all is, but this specifically, it's a little more tied together.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Getting into episode 4, it is titled "Destroy Malevolence." Obviously, it gets destroyed based on the title.
Hey, spoilers, douche.
So the spoiler warning's for.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't hear the spoiler warning because I haven't edited it in yet.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
Whatever. All right, go on.
So a quick summary of episode 4. So as we said, Anakin and his squad took out the ion cannon. General Grievous is in retreat. This one opens up with, it's got Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, I believe Plo Koon, and then I believe Luminara shows up in a hologram for a brief moment. And they're basically strategizing how they're gonna finish off the Malevolence.
Yeah.
They end up getting a surprise visitor, I guess, appears during the battle. And Obi-Wan and Anakin are trying to rescue the survived visitor,
Who are you talking
which is
about?
Padme Amidala.
Oh, right. Duh. Yeah.
Yeah, duh.
I'm sorry.
It's like giving the episode before.
Shut up,
I
Gage.
watched it one time and remembered that.
Shut up.
Period. No, I really did.
No, I believe you. I'm just saying. Okay, don't rub it in.
I'm just smarter than you.
All right, I guess.
Anyways, as I said, the Jedi are trying to come up with a battle plan with, I forgot to mention, with Admiral Yularen. He's basically the guy in charge of Anakin's fleet.
Yep, also known as Howard Stark.
Correct. You're not wrong. They're trying to come up with their battle strategy. They've still got the cruisers firing on the Malevolence, but at this point it's pulled away far enough to where it's more of just an annoyance, just a hey, we're still here, rather than actually doing damage to the ship.
Yeah.
And Count Dooku lets General Grievous know that a hostage is on the way. That will allow General Grievous to get repairs done to their hyperdrive because it got damaged as well. So that way he can get the Malevolence out of there.
Yeah.
And, as we see, Padme shows up in a Naboo ship because she was told that, I believe it's the Banking Clan, was trying to leave the Separatists and come back to the Republic, which again would be another huge blow to the Separatists. A pretty big win for the Republic and another step closer to ending the war. Because it's one of a very large organization helping fund the Separatist cause. And so, she arrives in the area where the battle's going on, and the Republic picks up her ship on their scanners, and Ahsoka lets them know, hey, a Naboo cruiser just showed up out of hyperspace. Obviously, they stopped firing because Naboo is part of the Republic, one of their allies. And Ahsoka raises the ship on their communications, and that's when they find out, it's Padme Amidala.
Right.
And, Anakin's emotions kind of take over. Obviously, it's his wife.
Right.
And so, obviously, he tells all the ships to stop firing again. And, they're trying to tell her, get out of here. You're in the middle of a battle. Like, battle is lasers flying all over the place.
How is she Anakin's wife?
Because they got married at the end of Attack of the Clones. You don't remember that, Gage?
Jedi aren't allowed to have attachments.
Yeah.
Do people know this?
No, people don't know this.
Okay.
There's like 3, and they're not even all people, 3 things that know that they're married, which is technically 4.
They're not even all people. Some of them are Geonosians, right? Filthy things.
No. Yes, filthy things, but no, not Geonosians. R2, C3PO, the guy that actually married them, who Padme paid off, she's corrupt. Surprise, surprise.
She's a woman, of course.
And then Chancellor Palpatine actually knows, because Anakin confides in him.
Big rip.
Yeah. Big mistake there, buddy.
He doesn't confide in him until 3, though.
No, Palpatine knows during the Clone Wars that Anakin and Padme are married.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, as I said, Anakin's emotions kind of take over. Understandably, that's his wife,
Yeah.
And so, they're telling him, they're trying to tell Padme to get out of there, go literally anywhere else, not here. Before she can go jump through hyperspace, the Malevolence uses a tractor beam to basically take hold of the ship and pulls the ship into the Malevolence, where General Grievous is planning on obviously capturing her as a hostage. But Padme sets her ship to blow up to cause a distraction, while her and C-3PO sneak out of it. And then again, this is where we see General Grievous's disregard for his droids, because he boards the ship with 2 of his battle droids, and one of them makes those stupid comments that the battle droids make in this TV show for whatever reason.
There's nobody on it.
And, one's like, "There's nobody here." Oh, the engines are set to over whatever it's called. I don't know. To basically to blow up.
Yeah.
The engines are set to explode. And General Grievous just knocks one of them over the side and goes running out of the ship. The other one
To do it.
No, it's not use the Force Gauge. And one of the other battle droid just makes it again one of those stupid comments that they added into this, which I find hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that was rude. Right as the ship blows up.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that, Jackie boy?
I don't like that. I can tell you that. But no, I don't really have any. I mean, I've got notes all the way through. I'm trying to see where exactly in here, I feel like, why don't you continue your summary? Just kind of going through and summarizing it as best you can. Like, just kind of give a breakdown. And
I'm
then,
just trying to get you involved because I'm really just the one talking right now.
no, I know, but I was just saying, if you want to do that, then I can like kind of we can go back through my notes. Maybe. I'm looking through. Never mind.
And I'll just leave some pauses and you throw in interjections.
Okay, where about are you, do you think, amongst my notes right now? Probably.
Organization at its finest.
What'd you say?
There's about a third through.
Little third. Okay. Yep. I think I know whereabouts you're at. So. Oh yeah, because here, Grievous leaves his droid behind. His engines blows up. He continues to show disregard. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. And anyways, with the episode, it cuts back to the Jedi on the cruiser, and Anakin decides that he's going to go and save her after Padme told him to, keep firing on the ship. She's not going to be used as a pawn.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to be used as a bargaining chip, whatever. And again, Anakin's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Rip. He decides he's going to go rescue her. Obi-Wan tags along and got some more of his sassy remarks.
Yeah. Subtlety has never been one of your strong suits, Anakin.
Yep.
And then I forget what he said. Something about learning it from him or something like that. But
yeah, so basically Anakin gets on his ship, the Twilight, to board the Malevolence to save Padme.
Mm-hmm.
And Obi-Wan shows up and basically asks what his plan is. And Anakin basically says, they're too busy repairing the ship. They'll never notice us. We'll just we'll just go attached to one of their loading bays or one of their docking stations. And we'll get aboard that way. Mm-hmm. And that's where Obi-Wan makes the comment, you've never been known for your subtlety. And Anakin tries to retort back and, well, everything I know I learned from you. Of course, Obi-Wan right back at him. If only that were true.
Yeah. Yeah, that. I love the wittiness of Obi-Wan, and he's pretty well the main one that shows it, but I like the interaction between him and Anakin and just the wittiness that he's got.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Side note, there is a video on YouTube that is, I think it's called The Sarcasm of Obi-Wan Kenobi or something like that. And it literally goes through episodes 1, 2, and 3 and the Clone Wars TV show and movie of just all the sassiness and wittiness that Obi-Wan has.
Yeah.
It's like a 20-minute long video. But yeah, side note.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, so Anakin and Obi-Wan take off in the Twilight. They go and dock onto the Malevolence and get on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Cuts back to Padme. She finds a terminal that she basically jimmy rigs into a communication device to try and get a hold of Anakin.
Right.
And, she gets to try and get a little meetup point so they can all get off the ship together. Sing Kumbaya and all that jazz.
Yeah. While they're on the ship, though. Oh yeah, they haven't encountered Grievous yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
But as she's talking to them, Grievous starts coming towards her in her direction with some of his battle droids. Or she has to, stop the communication and hides behind a freaking metal plate, basically, in a corner. And I don't know how he didn't think to, maybe look behind here. Or, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Blah, 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 blah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, yeah, and he's looking for her, and then Obi-Wan gave away his position at some point by disabling the hyperdrives. Kind of immobilize him, And
well, going for the hyperdrives, but the hyperdrives are already damaged at this point.
Oh yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah. He gives his position away, and I think you said it before. They kind of do that flip flop interaction from episode 3. Him and Grievous do.
Okay.
Yeah. Where Grievous is like, "Hello there."
Yeah, I thought that I made the note on there because Grievous jumped down and he goes, hello there or whatever, and it just reminded, obviously it's kind of a reference to Revenge of the Sith when Obi-Wan does the exact same thing, and we get the material that we can use for our intro.
Talk
Just
about General Grievous. Hello, General Kenobi. We talk about that though. That was way better than Obi-Wan's "Hello there."
Oh,
Well,
absolutely not.
I guess no, I do not agree, and I don't know if you're just being like goofy and like trying to provoke us, but no, I liked, I guess I liked Obi-Wan's "Hello there" though, because it was like a lot more upbeat than it should have been. Like he's about to like face all these guys, and like he knows that there's a battle, like like a fight about to break out, and he's just all happy, kind of like sounding is like "Hello there."
Yeah,
like,
he's
why?
surrounded with literally like thousands of battle droids. He's got General Grievous right there in front of him. He's just all chipper about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like that. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, but yeah, so that happens. Something I notice as they're like shooting their way through the droids and stuff is Padme's aim.
Hashtag terrible.
Does she have Parkinson's? Like,
She's a stormtrooper.
there, yeah, exactly, dude.
Not wrong. Confirmed, not wrong.
But yeah, and then
I would just like to comment, sorry,
no, you're fine. Go ahead.
before you continue on.
Yeah, you're fine.
3PO. Quit getting lost.
Yeah, dude. He's got the internal compass of like a McDonald's toy. Like, it's just not accurate, and I guess even them are somewhat accurate, but I don't know. It's just, yeah, he's always getting himself lost, and it's annoying.
Yeah, he gets lost in Attack of the Clones on Geonosis,
Mm-hmm.
where he gets a droid's head screwed, like welded onto his body. We got here in freaking episode 4. He gets lost in some giant separatist ship. Like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
And spoiler warning, just so you know, he gets lost a lot more further on in the show. It happens again.
Yeah.
It's not a one-time.
I can see it being a reoccurring thing. Yeah.
R2 is definitely the superior droid.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And I said before, I'm pretty sure Star Wars is actually 3PO and R2 are the main characters, and everybody else is just a side role.
100% agreement
You two
for
characters
me.
you see every single movie.
Yep.
I should say the 9 actual movies. I'm not talking about like the side movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the 9, the Skywalker saga, I guess is what they're calling it now.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 characters that are in every single one.
This is true.
But anyways, yeah, 3PO gets lost again.
Yep.
And of course, Obi-Wan is the one that ends up finding him just kind of out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan, I think Obi-Wan's fighting General Grievous at this point, and I think General Grievous goes into his coward phase again.
Yeah, he kind of has
And runs
that.
away, and Obi-Wan happens to see 3PO on one of the giant trains that are running through the ships. It's that big.
Yeah.
And, they left R2 at the loading dock or the airlock, whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
where they docked the Twilight. So, R2-D2 just chilling there.
Mm-hmm.
Anakin sees Padme shooting at some droids on the train. On one of the trains, he walks over to her. Of
Right,
course,
yeah.
we gotta get the married people together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, really, at that point, it's just kind of following Anakin and Padme working their way to the bridge, and then it follows Obi-Wan fighting General Grievous.
Yeah. Right. And so they fight, a little bit. They work towards wherever they're. Okay. Really quick, I have a note here. It says there's a secret base in Sector 4. What like what was that? That was the Separatists do? They have a secret base and it's like retreat to that, right?
Mm.
I made the note for some reason.
Oh, that's the Separatist base. That's where Count Dooku tells General Grievous to go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like when he initially tells Grievous to get out of there with the Malevolence, he tells him to go to Sector 4.
Right. Yeah, I remember that now.
But so Anakin and Padme end up making their way to the bridge,
Yep.
where Anakin single-handedly destroys every single droid except for one,
Mm-hmm.
because Padme is completely useless.
Hashtag Stormtrooper aim.
Yep. we gotta start a trending thing on Twitter somehow to just hashtag Stormtrooper aim. The first shot or two that were fired at JFK, hashtag Stormtrooper aim. Because wasn't it? Yeah, it was like shot a couple times and then.
No, not relevant.
What'd you say?
I said I don't know, not relevant.
It's whatever. He's dead.
So after Anakin destroys all the droids on the bridge, he basically sets the navigation computers to send the ship into the moon if the hyperdrive is re-engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And then him and Padme leave through one of the two elevators that go up there. And as they get in the elevator and the door closes, the other elevator opens and more droids walk onto the bridge.
Yep.
And like, oh, the hyperdrive's fixed. Let's get out of here. And at which point Anakin, Padme, Obi-Wan, C-3PO, and R2 all get back on the Twilight, disengage from the ship. And Grievous actually goes after them in his fighter, along with a couple Vulture droids, which are the droid fighters, in case anyone listening doesn't know. Those are the droid fighters. And, the droids on the bridge contact General Grievous to let him know that the hyperdrive is fixed. Actually, I think this is where General Grievous actually tells them to take the Malevolence to Sector 4.
Oh,
that's my mistake.
No, you're good.
Yeah. And so, they engage the hyperdrive, and obviously, Anakin rigged it, so it goes right into the moon.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, the cruisers start firing at the Vulture droids and General Grievous as they're chasing the Twilight, in which the Vulture droids get destroyed and General Grievous flees again.
Right. Yep.
And Count Dooku, contacts General Grievous for an update.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously General Grievous failed. The ship got destroyed.
Yeah.
And so General Grievous just ends the call abruptly, which you will see that in several different occasions throughout the show.
Yep.
As General Grievous fails and doesn't feel like reporting it to Count Dooku.
Right.
And so General Grievous flees. The Twilight's still on its way back to the fleet, and there's a quick little snappy dialogue between Anakin and Obi-Wan about the Malevolence going into the moon, and Anakin just kind of makes the last comment of the episode. He's all part of the plan, Master. Again, I personally think it's more of that kind of arrogance that Anakin has.
Yeah, like it by chance went my way, so of course I meant to do that. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like I don't know if I call it arrogance, but just kind of him trying to be witty back, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd say it's arrogance either, but it's either way. Yeah.
Yeah. But then the episode cuts there.
Yep.
Malevolence destroyed. General Grievous is fleeing. Republic wins. Yay.
Woohoo. Yay. Yep.
One thing that we didn't mention that I think we should have, I can't remember if it's 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure it's episode 3, so this is going back. Just with the medical station, how they're trying to evacuate.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
all the clones and all the injured clones there. And while the Malevolence is an actual threat to the medical station, they can't get them all out. They've got clones in Bacta tanks, which is basically a giant tank with some sort of healing liquid in it that's supposed to help.
Yeah. Yep.
The healing process.
Yeah, and they're not able to.
And
not able to save them.
They're not even able to move those clones.
No, it's kind of like if the zombie apocalypse hit and your grandma's on life support. Like, I mean, it's not a very good decision to have to make, but
So just my last comments, I guess, on the 2 episodes before we do some after in-depth, I guess, information or news.
Yeah, sure.
Just kind of like with the medical station, it just kind of shows the dire position that those clones are in, I guess, so that the Republicans in that area, that they can't save. I'd say at least half of their. They can't save at least half of their clones that are wounded.
Right.
And even some other clones that are pretty heavily wounded, but not enough to have to go into one of those tanks. Even for those clones, it's taking a while to get them all evac.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just kind of shows the dire situation they're in, and the need for Anakin to get over there and I guess save them.
Yeah.
But that was my last thoughts on the 2 episodes. I don't know if you had anything else, Jacob.
No, I did not. You covered pretty well anything that I was gonna say, and then just you covered it. So there we go.
Some news.
Yeah.
Some updates on future projects that are going for Star Wars. If you guys don't want to listen to this, you'll go ahead and stop listening now. Any of those that are interested.
Yeah, if you want to see where like our ideas on announcements where this podcast is going, like what our plans are with it, stick around. Otherwise, we're done talking about Star Wars for now. And hopefully see you next episode. Anyway, Evan, what's on your mind? What do you got?
So I guess the big thing for me right now is there's some news that I saw that, confirmed with The Mandalorian Season 2. The biggest one that I just saw recently is that it is still on track. They have not postponed when it's actually going to start airing on Disney+. And from what I read, they don't plan to, which I'm kind of excited about.
Yeah, me too.
On top of that,
awesome.
They have, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed, Boba Fett making an appearance in The Mandalorian Season 2.
Yeah, and the actor playing him is the same that, the clones in the movies are based off of, which I can't remember his name, but he played Jango Fett. We saw him there.
Yeah.
And obviously the clones. What did he say?
Fett, not Boba Fett.
Oh my gosh. Be quiet.
They're 2 different people. They won't even look alike.
Shut up. Shut up.
So the actor's name is Temuera Morrison.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Also, I guess for those that hadn't heard or forgot, Ahsoka Tano has been confirmed to be in The Mandalorian Season 2 as well.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited for. She is a babe. Hands down, love of my life.
Yeah, man. Especially episode 1 of the Clone Wars. Oh.
Behind McGregor, Ahsoka Tano is the love of my life.
13, bro!
That's what
Behind Ian McGregor,
that's
Tano,
what, that's what I was getting at. I'm entirely joking. Yeah, so there's some news regarding Mandalorian. That was pretty nice.
Yep. Also, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Another thing they had confirmed, or it's not confirmed yet. It's rumored that another Mandalorian who you will be introduced to later on in this TV show will be making an appearance in The Mandalorian Season 2 as well.
Oh.
So that's two characters from the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah.
Appearing in The Mandalorian, and then Boba Fett from 4, 5, and 6.
Right. Yeah.
Appearing as well. So I'm super hyped about that. Can't wait.
Yeah. Yep.
And really, I just can't wait.
Yeah. So, do you have other Star Wars news, or do you want me to? I have some stuff I was going to say.
Not about Mandalorian.
Okay. Any other news then?
I guess, yeah, just going into the new era they're introducing. And they've actually started working on some films, just kind of ideas and making scripts for the High Republic is the name of this new era they're coming out with, which is actually, I originally said it's 800 years before Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. It's actually 200 years before. I was not correct with that. I was wrong on that. It's actually 200 years before The Phantom Menace. And I did post a link in the Discord chat, in the general chat, of some of the Jedi that we will be introduced to in those films, books, TV shows.
Yeah. Yeah. So all the more incentive to join our Discord. Again, I'll have a link in the description for that. But yeah, check that out. Be good.
We'll give you some of the names and a brief description about, I think it's 6 or 7 different characters they have.
Right. Yeah.
Potential to see Yoda in there because he is part of the Jedi Order. He's a Jedi Master still in this era. So potential to see him there.
Yeah, that alone is going to be kind of cool. I really hope that they, because they're probably not going to focus around him. That wouldn't be.
I wouldn't think so.
It's new, you don't want to do that, but just to have him even around and in it, that's kind of
maybe
I appreciate that and I like it.
Maybe a couple one-liners or something like that.
Yeah, he just comes in and he's just kind of like that Game Grumps bit, like he starts like telling a bunch of jokes.
With the Force, you are strong.
Yeah.
Gage, I approve.
I'll have to send you guys that.
You're posting to the podcast chat on Facebook. Everybody look for the newest episode of our podcast and use hashtag StormtrooperAim.
Like it. I love that. Yeah. Okay. So I had some news and just some ideas as far as just the podcast in general.
Yeah.
We had some discussion and it sounds like we're kind of on board for that. I think that we should. Well, here I'll just start off from what I want to say. We're thinking, okay, so we got Star Wars in depth right now, correct? That's our name.
Yep.
And if you guys like have a different idea for the name, we were thinking about changing it because, and not like drastically, but for example, we want to cover Marvel. We want to cover DC Comics and Pokemon and a lot of different things. And so eventually Star Wars in depth will no longer really be applicable, or at least not fully. Because like we've talked about maybe doing like an alternating topic thing, like each week or every so often one episode's about Star Wars, the other one's about our other topic. But I personally had thought maybe the title just In Depth or something, but a bit of a name change, Evan, what are your thoughts on that, personally? Because my thoughts are that then if we cover Marvel, we can do Marvel In Depth, and change it a bit there.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about just plain In Depth. I think we definitely need to come up with something. Something new. It doesn't have to be a huge change, just something that gives us that broad coverage to cover like Star Wars and then Marvel, DC, Pokemon, all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, and
I'm kind of indifferent about just calling it In Depth. I don't know if Gage, if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, that was just an idea, an example. Like we could even have like if any listeners have an idea, submit it to us, and we'll take a look and we'll maybe take it into consideration. Maybe there'll be some good ideas. I don't know, but my point with that is that if we figure that out, and kind of what we'd choose as our name, what we want to do, and I've talked a little bit about, is make a podcast email to where you can submit questions. Maybe you're not in the Discord, maybe you don't want to get Discord, and you're not in our Facebook group, and you just kind of want, you want to contact us. I would like to kind of make that avenue open.
So I'm at make that email.
Okay.
I will, Jacob, once I get that email made, I'll give you the actual name of it so that you can put in the description. I'll probably do that tonight.
Okay, yeah, and so that'll be in the description of this episode, so you guys can actually, I guess, look at that.
Yeah.
And then
Unless you're doing it.
yeah.
Yeah, so that email will be in the description for this episode.
Yeah.
Like you said, Jacob, that way you guys can, send any questions or ideas that you have. There's another way for you guys to reach out to us.
Yeah. So another thing, I've been trying to get a little more active on Twitter, just because there's good, news, like not all good news, but like, for example, the some different like Star Wars updates, news updates, things like that. I follow a lot of accounts that will post that. So I do have us on, like, I have this podcast, a Twitter account for that. If you guys you can even tweet us on there. Like, that's another method that you could contact us, but
Hashtag Stormtrooper.
Yep,
yeah,
if
exactly.
you tweet, that's going to be our thing.
Yep. But anyway, so there's a couple different methods that you could get in contact with us. Obviously, comment on our podcast. I really would encourage, leave reviews. We will read those, and that would even work towards our goals, and reward you guys with that. Not only that, but we've got Twitter and possibly an email. So
yeah, just a reminder on those goals. Again, it's 100 reviews gives you guys a live stream. And then 1,000 downloads. Every 1,000 downloads will give you guys a blooper reel.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess I don't have any other comments or anything. And
I do not have either. Gage, any comments?
Bro, just listen.
There you have it.
Wait, what? What did he
Bro,
say?
just listen.
I see. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, yeah. So anyway, thanks for joining us on this episode. We'll be back. I'm not going to guarantee a time frame, but hopefully very soon with episodes 5 and 6 covered, and so you'll hear from us in that episode.
Peace out.
See ya.
Deuces.